Live
Excuse me.
Oh my
Wow!
god. I don't think Dazzle was ready.
On that, I am switching it over.
Wow.
Sorry.
You know what? They're all gonna assume that was me. They're all gonna think that was me.
All I just didn't hear.
was
They
you,
didn't hear.
Aaron.
I mean, it
What's
was.
Aaron?
Wow, Aaron.
Guys,
What
I
a way
just
to
can't
start.
keep it in sometimes.
Wow.
Blah. Welcome to the Manga Pod Book Club, everybody.
Hi.
Where occasionally we start on time, and occasionally we do not.
We're pretty
Yay!
close this week. We're only like 4 minutes late.
Oh, are we?
Late.
Yeah, 4 minutes. That's fine.
Are we?
Yeah.
I thought it was so much later than that. You guys, I don't know
No,
where...
you did pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad. I was nervous. Okay, well, welcome to the Manga Pod Book Club. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after reading part or all of a manga, and then we talk about our feelings for it. That's pretty much all there is to it.
earlier while we were doing sound check, it looked like Erin was getting eaten by her dogs, and I'm really sad that you all missed it. But we got to see
It was
it,
funny.
and it was amazing.
It was also like a mental breakdown.
Erin was like, I'm just gonna fix something, and then suddenly she was on the ground, and the dogs were surrounded. It was good.
And then David started barking. It was.
And then David was barking.
It was the
It's
weirdest thing.
mayhem at their house.
It was just going crazy. There was a plane landing earlier here. It was just going
I was the only one on the
insane.
call at that point. It sounded like there was a damn plane that landed in their house.
I don't know what you were hearing, but
Did you have like a blow dryer on or anything like that?
no.
Nothing? What did I hear?
I don't know. It reminds me of that, though you
Loud
say blow dryer, loud blow dryer. It reminds me of the time in England when I plugged in a blow dryer on low setting and it just went, I was like, whoa. It was intense. But
That was
anyway, this manga pod, I am your host, Happily Aaron, also known as Aaron. I have my lovely co-host here, Dodger. Who
Hello.
was talking to me about England. Yokorama, who we missed last week, even though we had another Tsundere fill-in for him. But it's good to have you back, sir. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better now.
Good.
It's what we like to hear.
Yeah, I was still here last week.
Yeah, you
I
were
just wasn't
mine.
on. I just wasn't looking like myself.
You were being supportive in the chat.
Yeah, you were being a great little mod.
Yeah.
I didn't really do anything. I don't think I even like timed out anybody. I've never once timed out anybody. I really want to because it looks really fun, but
It is fun.
Just
It's-
leave that to
Feeling.
You know, it sounds like fun, but it's kind of a letdown in terms of what actually happens because
They just come back.
they just stop talking.
Aww.
oh really? Not like well, actually, don't the messages get deleted as well when you
Yeah.
time somebody out? See, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
power.
it's just like they said all
That's
this stuff,
real.
and then you press a button, and it's all gone.
Yeah, that's real. That's real power right there. I'll like one day I'll find somebody to time out.
No.
You
One
can be the
day.
one.
You're gonna get ban happy.
I'll start timing everybody out. You guys have to
Yokorama
kick
just
me out.
stops paying attention to the podcast and is just in there banning everybody.
You have to like kick me from the Skype call.
We have to ban Yokorama in the end.
Great power comes great responsibility.
It's
Yeah.
true. Will you be able to handle that responsibility, Yoko?
Mm. No way.
So honest.
That's why I'm not starting. I'm not starting.
Okay, good. But if you
That
ever
was-
do want to, you can do the one person someday. We
was-
also have a Mr. Dr. Daza.
Hello there.
Hello, sir. I don't know why I'm talking to you in an English accent when you're Australian.
Hello there,
But
Governor.
hello, chop. How are you?
How you'll be, young lass?
Oh no.
Oh.
And that's how you guys should talk for the rest of the podcast.
No, don't say that. No.
I said-
Let's talk about Ninja Octago.
Article, sir.
That's so bad.
Can't do-
Oh, yeah. I'm not even gonna deny that that was horrible.
Oh.
It was the
guys.
best accent ever.
What have we done?
Aw. Thanks, Jazza. Hey, I can see you.
This is a Skype call, sir.
Sir,
oh. There you
there is
go.
video evidence. Oh, I spilled all over myself. Okay. If you guys have never joined us for a manga pod before, what we usually try to do is we give a summary of the manga that we've read so that if you haven't read it, you can get a little bit of a taste about what we read, and then you can go and read it and then come back and watch MangaPod on the VOD of MangaPod on my channel, Happily Aaron, on YouTube. And so this is going to be spoiler free, whereas the rest of this podcast is not going to be spoiler free. It's going to be hefty defty on the spoilers, and with this manga, it's also going to be hefty defty on the feelings, I'm assuming.
The
So,
feels.
the feels.
Lots of feels today.
Lots of feels. Daza, would you like to give your Dr. Daza description for our lovely members of our audience who have not read?
There are the
Gacha Otsuka?
classes. Good.
A hopeless geek, a beautiful woman, and a fast connection. Could the internet be his ticket to the express train to romance? A real-life thread on an internet forum sparks a nationwide phenomenon. A nerdy otaku meets a girl on a train and posts an urgent query on the web. How the heck do you talk to girls? What should I wear on their date? Where should they go? The forum's response was overwhelming, and the thread continued to grow along with their relationship. Eventually published in book form to become a bestseller, the thread spawned a blockbuster movie and hit TV series, as well as this heartwarming manga adaptation of an entire internet community rooting for love and romance.
Ah!
There we go.
Nicely done, sir.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I do really want to see the movie form of it now.
It is really good.
Is it? Did you watch it?
Wait,
I've
there's a
seen
movie
I've
form?
seen the TV series and the movie. They're both
I thought
really
there was
good.
only a drama. There's both?
Yes.
How long is the drama?
Oh,
The drama is 12 episodes of 30 minutes each.
that's not bad.
Didn't you see the link that I sent you guys last week of the Darth Vader music?
No.
Oh, you guys suck.
I wasn't there.
I might have missed it. I don't remember that.
Oh.
We just ignored
love
you.
you a lot and stuff.
We do. We love you so much.
I found that specifically for you. Found it in Spanish.
In Spanish.
Spanish?
I'll see if I can find it again and show you guys.
What?
That.
All
It was
Americans
great.
speak Spanish, right?
Puedo ir al corto de baño is the only thing I remember. from
Donde
Spanish.
está el baño?
Donde está, por favor?
Me no comprendo.
Welcome to MangaPod.
Welcome to MangaPod.
I'm
That
going to
was-
imagine I know what you guys are saying.
This is just derailed so quickly. Trains.
Go,
Anyway.
Aaron, do
Yeah,
it,
it
do
works.
it, do it, Aaron.
That is. I'm just gonna. If ever I start to get off, I'm just bringing it back as quickly as possible so that I can just keep going. Otherwise, it's gonna end up horrible.
If I think we'll never get back to it, then I'll just wind up saying it, and then we're really derailed. That's as spoiler-free as this is gonna get, you guys. Is that what you were gonna say? Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Except
it.
her mouth is full of food.
So now you can go and read it if you haven't read it yet, and then you can come back and watch the VOD on youtube.com/happilyaron later. We usually put it up almost immediately after this is done, ASAP. But if you would like to hang out and watch this, even if you haven't read it, feel free. And if you have read it, I hope that you enjoy our super spoilery discussion.
Yeah.
It's a really fast read, so
I
if you
did
like,
it!
if you leave right now and you go read it, if you start reading it right now, by the time the VOD is up, you'll probably be done reading it.
That is
it's
true.
it's like a 2.5 hour read tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a quick read. It's only 3 volumes.
Yeah, it was a really quick. And like once you get sucked in, you don't want to stop reading it. So it
It's
ends
so
up
good.
going Even
So
faster.
good.
Oh.
Well, let's start the spoiler
Dodger,
discussion.
Dodger, would you like to begin with your feelings?
Okay, so are we starting off how we normally do? Like, what did you think it was going to be, and
Yeah.
and how we're
Yeah.
surprised or not surprised?
Why
Okay,
not?
so all I knew was that this was going to be a romance manga. And let's be honest, so far with the romance mangas, they've been very filled with like super drams. And so I was expecting there to be like it to be a normal, super drama-filled romance story. And all I will say before we get deeper into it is that I was pleasantly surprised. And I think honestly, it might be one of the best romance stories, not just mangas, but stories that I've ever read. Boom.
Boom. Beautiful.
Wow.
Dazzler or Yoku? Which one do you want to go next?
Yoki.
Because I can go.
Well, that was hard to choose who's gonna go next because you're like, you want to go you, or me?
Hey, when do you
Maybe
want
me?
to go before
Maybe
I
me.
take this
No,
next
go,
bite?
go, damn it.
Okay, I'll go since.
Oh.
What?
Parents
Okay.
play.
Yeah, I pretty much have the same opinion or the same thoughts going into this as Dodger. I thought it was just gonna be like a romance. I knew it was good because it has a lot of good ratings, a lot of good reviews and stuff on it. So I was expecting something of a higher quality, but still with a lot of drama. Where I'll be like sitting there, like kind of like yelling at the manga pages, like, "No, what are you doing?" You know, because it's like you would never act like that in real life. But this is like a really like realistic type of love story, and I was just sitting there like "Aw," like the whole time, and like I was reading it on the couch. And my mom was on the other couch, and I was just like, out of nowhere, I just like giggle like a little girl, and she would like look at me and be like, "Well, what are you doing?" Because I'm like sitting there on my iPad, I'm like nothing, you know, like this like smile on the face, because it was the cutest thing I've ever read in my life, and like I love it. It's only the start of the podcast, but I'm saying this is my favorite romance series ever, like anime or manga. I'm telling you, this should be made into an anime. That's what should happen.
I
So,
agree. It's
I'll stop rambling because I could keep on going. Somebody else go.
Dazza, do you want to go? I can go. I don't have food in my mouth.
You go,
Okay.
Aaron.
I agree with both of you completely. Like, the entire thing was adorable and exciting from beginning to end. Like, there was never this dull moment of me eye rolling and not enjoying it. The entire thing, I just wanted to keep on reading it. And I felt, I know I was talking to Dodger about this, and I'll expand more on it later, but I felt like I was one of the people on the forum. Like, that's how into it I was. I was rooting for them the entire time. It just ended up being one of the best romances. So simple and true and just amazing from beginning to end. I loved it so much. And, like, I was expecting to go into it just being like, meh, meh, it's okay, considering the other romance mangas we've read so far have been more or less not that appealing or mind-blowing to me, whereas this one definitely did. So I really liked it. Wasn't expecting to like it nearly as much as I did. So that's mine. Deja? Dr. Deja?
Whoa.
Oh no,
I
Dazza
watched
hated
it.
it.
Oh no.
That's the Asian.
Wait, did he?
Hold on. I watched a TV series last year. No, 2 years ago now I watched it. And I loved it. And the story of the TV... And when I got into the manga, I was just like, yeah, I know the story already. I'm going to see how they adapt it into manga form. And I was pleasantly surprised that I actually enjoyed the manga too. Because they did deviate from the TV series a little bit, because the TV series expands on a lot of the information as well as some more plot points. The manga. No. It's actually based off of a thread off of 2chan, which is like the Japanese version of Reddit.
Yeah.
It's based off
And
of
they've
a real
all been
story.
based off of that.
Right.
It's kind of like the same story. I think they made a blog about it as well, and it's all been based off that blog, so there's all different variations. So the ending of the manga was actually very different, and it surprised me, and I was just like, "Aw." And there was times where I was like, I was reading it on my phone, I was just reading it in bed, I'm just like, "Aw." And then my cat comes up and is like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm so happy, Mama."
Your cat came up and he's like, "Stop being a pussy." You
Damn.
want-
That's ironic
Just
coming
comes
from
up
a
and, like,
cat.
slaps you with his paw. Man up.
I found a
Man
gif of that today. I found a gif of a man being slapped by a cat.
Oh, you should link that.
It's from an anime. Okay, guys, if you, I can find it. Give me 2 seconds. Okay.
Keep talking, Dad.
Yeah, guys,
Anyway.
keep going.
There were less times in the manga though that I was like, "Oh, why doesn't he just go for it?" Because they did flesh it out a lot more, and it was a lot more otaku in this TV series. So I was a lot happier when it went forward quite fast,
Yeah.
and especially with her leading the way and having her thoughts as well, which I thought were really cool. And I thought I really enjoyed that part as well. Yeah.
Where is this gif? Where is this
Fine.
gif? I'm trying to find
Come on,
it.
Aaron.
I have way too many anime gifs on my Tumblr page. So Dazza, so you said there was quite a few differences between the drama and the manga, or was there not too many?
It wasn't more differences. It was more they expanded a lot more, and there was a lot more side stories, and the ending is very different. Oh yeah, we can spoil the ending, of course.
Yeah, we can.
When he tells her about the no, she doesn't actually find out from him that about the 2chan stuff. She
Oh.
actually finds out from a friend who tells her, and she gets really mad, and they have like a whole conflict there. And I was really surprised
Oh.
that didn't play out in the manga a lot.
Yeah, I was
thought
kind
that
of
was
expecting like something like that to happen.
Uh-oh.
What
What's up?
what have you
I
done?
don't know if anybody else could hear that, but there was music coming in through my headphones from one.
Oh.
So you guys were surprised that he showed her the thread, or that
Well,
wasn't as
I'm
big of
not-
a thing, or were you?
Well,
No,
he
I
should've
was
shown her
surprised
the
that
threat.
there wasn't like a conflict,
Yeah,
like
I
she
liked
find out
that,
like, wait,
though.
you were like discussing everything on a forum where
Yeah.
like who knows
I
how
was
many
surprised
people
by that
were,
too.
and she was just like, oh, you guys are so nice people, you know, like I don't think that's how a girl would actually like react. Well, who knows? She was very weird, like different, I guess.
I
Weird.
don't know. I liked that.
Girls, well, how would you react?
In context, I really liked that that's how it happened because it kind of solidified this idea of we're in a relationship and we're being honest with each other. And like him having this, I feel like lots of people get into relationships and then they say, by the way, here's something you should know about me. And that was kind of his, by the way,
Yeah.
this is something you should know about me, right? Like I was really closed off and I didn't know how to approach you, and and these people helped me. And like I don't know. I thought that it was a good way to showcase that that they were very much in love with each other and very honest with each other. So I was
But
okay.
if that happened to you, if you found out like that like everything that happened between you guys was like recorded like that on the internet for all the people to read, would you react? Like, oh, thank you for all the help, guys, or like how would you?
If like in this scenario, if I had a code name, I don't think that would bother me too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
If it was like, so I'm dating this girl, and like had my name, I'd be like, I don't know how I feel about that. But they
That's
both had
true.
like code names, and we never actually.
But we
used their
never
real
even
names,
found out their
which
names.
I like.
We never found out their names.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
They
that.
both had nicknames. I thought that was so cute.
I loved that. I love it
Yeah.
when shows don't give definitive names to people and it's more of just like a generic nickname or name or whatever. I really like that because it makes it feel like you could also be that character. Like it feels
Yeah.
more open for somebody to insert themselves into it, not in like a fanboy way or anything, but just like makes it more authentic and
Personal.
like, personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found the picture of the cat gif.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be
I'm
sure to
gonna-
link it in chat as
I'm gonna-
well, so
What?
that
I'm not logged in.
Aaron, what have you done?
I don't know. I don't remember what my password is. Oh god. Oh, it logged me in immediately. You guys, okay. It's just been a great. It's just been a.
Don't
great-
worry, we'll wait.
Just breathe, Aaron. It's okay.
I'm gonna fall out of my chair again. Okay, hopefully I'm
I'm going to,
posting the right thing. And
Yeah,
not
she just
something
like pulls out a bag.
Breathe in, breathe
Aaron,
out.
it's okay.
It's posted.
Oh, okay.
I just end up curling up in the corner with my little stuffed Rex over there, just crying.
I feel like
That's-
is my cat most of the time.
That sounds like that's Sakura, yeah.
Oh, I know. I
Boom.
know that anime. I know.
Yeah.
That where's that from? Is that from the Daily
It's
Lives of Past?
Natsume
Natsume.
Oh.
It's funny.
I can't tell from the hipster filter on it.
Cat slap.
I love when people do that to gifs.
So-
When they're like, wait, this isn't just right yet.
It has to have the
Allow-
hipster filter.
I gotta run this through the GIF Instagram and then we'll be good.
And they always have like different filters, like different options. It's like, dang,
Yeah.
dang, this guy.
And if they're really like intense ones, they have like the cursive writing all over them. And they're like, oh, it's
slow
so
motion on
intense.
one part of it, and it's just
Yeah, it's like one character like walking away in slow motion with like scripted writing and like all of the edges are super dark and gritty.
like, it's
Yes.
great.
So,
Not to
so
hate
this has
on
been
your
derailed
gift
again.
Not to-
Yeah,
Gifts are great though.
yeah, GIF makers, we're not hating. It's just
You do
you're
great
so
work.
predictable.
Do something new, okay?
Yeah, come on,
God,
challenge us a little.
God,
Damn.
damn. I didn't when you guys were talking about whether we would like that, like us girls would enjoy if that happened. Seeing that, like, I agree that if they used a different name, they weren't using my actual name, I'd probably be okay with that, but I would still be a little, I don't know, maybe mad, because it's like, I don't know, it'd be a little weird for me. I would feel weird that, like, it'd make me think that everything he said on the forum, like, he came from this forum. He wasn't himself with me, I think would be. But with this character, he still had enough of his quirkiness and of his original personality when he was hanging out with her and his awkwardness that it wasn't that big of a deal. But so, like, I really liked it in the context, like you were saying, of the story. But myself, I don't. If it's any other guy, I don't think I would. I don't know if I would appreciate it because it would make me question who he is. Like, I don't know if I would understand who he is.
I don't know. I feel like if you like took the time to read all of it though, and realized that in most of the situations it was, I really want to tell her this, or I really want to do this, and then they'd give him advice. Like, it's not like somebody was like, oh, here's how you're gonna get her into bed. You gotta tell her you love her, and here's how you're gonna do it. You know, it was like he would say, "Gosh, I'm in love with her, and I don't know how to tell her, or I don't know, you know, I don't have the courage." And then they'd be like, "You can do it, buddy," you know.
Yeah. Okay, so it's more of like they were like encouraging him and like everything he put forward. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I think if it's that way, it's definitely.
Yeah, he didn't follow them like word for word. Like they told him to do something and he just like freaked out and he didn't do it. You know, like confess, and then he comes home like, oh, I failed.
Yeah, he didn't just do it just to copycat him. Yeah, okay, yeah, then I'd be fine with it. It's great.
But that's a lot of reading, though. If you would like go back and reread everything, that was like weeks and weeks of conversations. And those guys like had no lives. Those guys on the forums
like
had
every
no
time he
lives.
wasn't home, they were still like talking about it on the forum.
Back? Guys, it's like 4 a.m. He's not back yet.
I loved that part.
Something happened to Densha? Oh
yeah, people taking days off to like wait for him to see what happens.
Wait, who was your favorite? Who was your favorite of the forum characters? Who was your favorite?
Hard.
Did you have
I
any?
loved the really quiet dude that was like surrounded by food that just kind of hung out, and every now and then he'd talk.
Oh, he only had like a few lines throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
every
he
time
actually
he
had
spoke-
the last word of the whole thing. Like, oh, you graduated from man, you know.
He's a really cool character. I like him from the drama. Did him really well as well.
I also liked the girl who was, I don't know if she was a waitress or a stripper, I'm not sure. But like,
it was hard to tell.
The girl who was the one who was like, boss, I'm gonna like take
I need a day off. Yeah, she's not a waitress.
It was awesome. It was just like, like all of these people from so many different walks of life. Like, they started off with a lot of people who were obviously just internet junkies. And then they wound up with, you know, the mom who was just hanging out with her baby and wound up on there. And then
the couple was my favorite.
I love the couple.
The couple was my favorite.
How like the dude, like he didn't
wasn't
care at all
interested?
until then he started caring about it a little bit, but saying like, oh, it's only fun in the beginning, and it sucks, man. You know, so enjoy
And then
it.
at the end, he's the one time.
Yeah, at the end they're all like, rooting for him. That was awesome.
At the end, they were all hugging and going on dates and stuff. It was
when they role played Densha.
Yeah.
You're no fun to roleplay with.
That was awesome. And it was kind of cool, like seeing more people connect to the forum as well. That became a big thing. Like I wonder how many people actually were following his whole relationship thing, because like so many people just started like joining in. There was like old people, young people, and it was pretty cool. I liked it.
I liked it too.
And they added those characters in there, those other forum characters, that it felt like natural. Like they kind of like squeezed them in there, and you didn't even notice. It feels like they're always been there. Kind of like, oh, we got another new person, like how they're saying in the actual manga series, and you're like, oh, we do,
Oh,
Yay.
that guy with the
kinda
mustache was not there before.
Yeah, or like that old guy that's like saying "get in her pants," you know, like something like that. That was fun.
Yeah, I love that. Even with the newer characters that came in throughout the story, the ones who tried to make an effort to like change their lives were the ones who were there at the very beginning. Like the dudes at the very beginning who were like, yeah, I'm gonna make some changes too. And every now and then they'd be like, that wasn't worth it. I'm just still really sad. But
Yeah, what about that dude that actually tried to copy that situation?
Yeah, on the train.
On the train, he ended up becoming all buddy-buddy. He's like, this isn't what I wanted!
Everyone's like, that's how it's
The dude's like, hey, how old are you? 25? Well, I have a son that's 25.
Yeah, and he's
Oh,
like,
man.
no,
He's like, why can't I
there
just
aren't
be
even any hot
Deadshot?
girls on this train.
I felt so bad for him.
That was awesome.
It made me okay, so there was this one part when I first started reading and the forum stuff was introduced. This part of me was really nervous / scared that it was gonna become a Denko situation. have all of you read Denko? The
No.
Denko story? Okay. This is good. I'm gonna make it quick. But Denko was a Tuchan like post last year, I think it was last summer, and it was a kid was typing about how he's in love with this girl Denko, and he just needs advice about how to get her to like him and how he can ask her on a date. And so the forum comes back, it's like, oh, well, you should do this, like, don't say anything weird because she might be creeped out. And then he just starts going on, like, it's a very subtle build, but it becomes this thing, like, I went to her house and her mom wouldn't let me in, so I tried climbing up into her window and I waited in her room for a little bit, and it just became this thing where people are like, wait, are you maybe stalking this girl? And he's like, no, she like loves me too, but every time I see her, she's mad at me and tries to like run away, and I don't understand. I just love her so much, and it's like this huge thing where he is actually stalking her, and it's just this horrifying story. You can Google it if you Google Denko. And
I don't know if I want to.
There's
I've linked it to the chat. It's all good.
Yeah, there's this one emoticon that he has that's forever, and whenever I see it now, I'm just like, keep that away. It's the cutest emoticon, but then when you know the story behind it, it's just like, But there was just a part of me that I was like, please don't let this become like that. Please don't let this become like that when I was reading it. But it just made me think of that. I thought it was funny. I'm glad that it ended up
I was gonna say
the way it did.
I would have been so upset.
Yeah, that would have ruined the story.
I would have been so upset. I'm glad this ended up much happier in a much sweeter way. The better side of humanity and love. Not stalking. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So let's talk about characters really quick. What did you guys think about the main character? What were your feelings on him, like at the beginning compared to the end? How did you feel his development was? Stuff like that. But if nobody wants to go, I can go first.
I can
Yeah,
go
you
for
can
it.
go first.
Okay.
I feel like I talk a lot, so
I feel like I talk a lot too. So I liked him from the beginning. There was never anything that set me off about him. Like, even when he was very unconfident and insecure, he still felt so realistic that I couldn't hate him. I was like, I've been there, bro. Like, I know your feel. Like, I get how you feel. And I loved that he was so willing to try things, and that, like, the very first time he calls her, everybody has that feeling when you're first calling somebody that you really like and you don't know very well. And he's
and you
just
like pick up the phone and then put it down and you're like, no, I can't. Then you like pick it up again and you're like, no.
Or you hesitate over like how to text them, like go backspacing constantly, like how do I text, like what do I say? I don't know what to say, and completely prepared. And I love that, like, at first it takes him like 15 pages to call this girl, and then at the end it's just like, oh, she's calling, answer, and like he misses the call, he calls her back immediately. Like, it's this really cute thing. It's just it was a really neat development to see him slowly become more confident, not only in like a relationship but also in his own skin. Like, just to see him grow up and just be more confident in himself, I thought was really, really cool. And just the whole development of him, his whole arc, just felt very natural and very normal and very relatable to me. And so I really, really liked him. I loved how sweet he was, and his confession made me cry like a little baby. Like, it's so cute.
I was on GChat with Erin when I finished this manga, and I was like, Erin, I am bawling right now. I just read the confession and I am bawling. And she was like, don't worry, I did too.
It was the sweetest. There was like no words except "I love you," but it was the most impactful and meaningful confession I've read in like a romance manga or like even in like a romance movie. It was just so sweet.
You know what
So
set me
genuine.
off was her standing up and grabbing his hands and saying, "You can do it." Like,
Yeah.
she knew what he was going to say, but she was encouraging him to have the confidence to say it. And I was just like, like, lost it.
It was so sweet. And like we were talking like the simplicity of thing about the manga I think was something that was really well done. Just how like there's no drama. It was like he was hesitating over things and he didn't really know what to do, but there was no like, oh, I have this fiance that I didn't realize I had, but I'm engaged to be married. There was nothing like that going on.
I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for that, and it never happened, and that made me so happy that didn't
Yeah.
happen.
One of those crappy cliches.
Yeah, it stayed away from the generic cliche plot twist. Like it had one purpose and it was telling this love story. It didn't get muddled down with anything else. But anyway, main guy's character development, I loved him. I thought he was adorable. I thought he dressed great
Yeah.
both times. I loved his outfits no matter.
He had a huge transformation.
Oh,
from, like,
yeah.
chapter
Yeah,
1.
and there was a moment when I was reading it when I was like, is this like unhealthy? Like the sort of I'm gonna change myself to be with this person sort of a transformation. And the more I thought about it, it didn't feel unhealthy. It felt more like before he had no reason to take care of himself. And then he wound up doing what he could to like, I don't know, he wound up respecting himself more because he was with this person.
Yeah, he just found a reason to care.
Yeah.
Before he just didn't care. He just
The
like,
only-
whatever.
Exactly.
Because I am a super like comic books, action figures like hoarder. When he was getting rid of toys, I was like, no. Like,
I know.
Poor heart. I was like, no, you can. She loves you. She'll accept it. Just keep them.
I know. I felt my heart breaking. I was like, don't.
But at the same time, I've definitely been in that sort of a place before where I've looked around at my stuff and been like, why do I have these things still?
Yeah.
Like, there are some things that it makes sense for me to keep, and there are some things where I'm like, I don't even have an emotional attachment. Like, I have no reason to have this. It's just, somebody else can appreciate this more. And I'm glad that he didn't just throw it away, that he, like, went to his other friends and was like, does anybody want this stuff? And they were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dibs.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was just like a growing up thing. Like, not necessarily that, like, having comic book stuff and anything is childish, because that's not. It's so much fun. It's great. But, like, it was just another symbol of his development. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. What about you guys? What did you think about him? Anybody else? Any thoughts?
He turned from like a really lame nerd into like a super hunk, and if I was a manga character, maybe.
Maybe you touch him a little.
His chin
He was
got more
very
pronounced, and it's just
handsome.
like,
He was.
He was very handsome.
I just want to touch your chin, that's all.
Just one touch. Please. No.
because they had that before and after shot, and I'm just like, dude is fine and suave.
Yeah, man.
No, I really
I
really
agree.
love that part when he was on a train and he saw this dude that like reminded him of his old self,
Yeah.
and he's like, man, like a month or two ago, that's how I looked. That was me. Like I had no care in the world. I was just riding the train home, just going, watching anime all day and stuff. Even though that's not bad, you can watch anime all day.
Wait, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, nobody here. has
Yeah, I
ever
mean, like
done that.
this guy had like no purpose. He had no
Yeah.
purpose. That's
Yeah,
all
exactly.
all that he was doing, and like he's like, man, this one girl just completely changed everything about me. And like you said, it wasn't like a bad change. Like he was forcing himself to change for her. It's something that he wanted to change. Like that's his true self. It's just he had no purpose. Now he has a purpose. So that was really cool. And like just this character was awesome. Densha is one of the most relatable characters ever, in my opinion. Like I can't think of any other character like off the top of my head that is like more relatable than him. Like I could think of characters that I like that are badass, like Spike Spiegel and stuff like that. But like they're not relatable. I'm not gonna run around with like a gun shooting things, But this guy,
What?
this guy in
You-
so many
you don't do that?
situations. in so many situations in this manga. Like there's at least a few moments every chapter where I'm like, wow, like I know exactly what you mean. Like I know exactly, like I could put myself in that situation that I've been through and like just relate. It's so relatable, and that's why you kind of sit there sometimes just like, I don't know, or just giggle like, that's cool. Like I remember that, or just like the only thing I didn't relate to was the ending. Like the ending was cool and all. I thought it was sweet and everything, but like him just like breaking and just started crying everywhere. I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I don't think I would like. I don't think I would like start
You're more
crying.
of a man
everywhere,
than
like,
that, Yoku.
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't
on,
allow
Yoku.
myself. Like I would feel so ashamed if I I love you. It's like, come on, man. Like, man up, dude. I know it's hard,
Men
but
can cry.
well, not like I love you. That's pretty much it.
love you.
He said I like 7 times before he actually said love you. So that was a little bit like I don't know. That was just kind of added to bring more emotion to the actual ending, and people
More
like so
suspense.
the girls would be like, oh, it's so cute. He's crying. No, she's crying too now. Oh,
It
that's
worked on me.
that's why. It was, yeah.
It worked on
But
me.
I was still like, I was cheering. I was like, yeah, man, finally, yo, go for it, yeah, because it was intense. Like that ending, I knew that like they ended up together, because that would be a stupid ending. Like, you know how he came back after the date or whatever, then
Yeah.
he started telling what happened at the date, and like it kind of looked like it was a bad thing that happened because they only showed
Yeah.
like a bottom of his face, and it kind of looked like down a little bit and stuff.
And at that point, it was like
Suspenseful.
chapter 22 or something. And I felt like there were so many chapters left that something
Yeah.
must have gone wrong. They wound up like making it span all the way to the end, and I was like, killing me.
I felt like the forum then, like specific,
Yeah.
like throughout the whole thing, I felt like the forum, but that part especially, I was like, I want to know what's
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, I knew that nothing bad happened. I knew that it was just to like build up the tension. But at the back of your mind, you're like, what if? What if something happened that like ruined everything? What if she just like said to his face like nah, not you, like left, and I would
just wanna be
Brings the
friends.
form Fred
I would
to
blow
play
up,
the
dude.
date.
friend zone.
I would blow up, man. If she friend zoned him, I would never read a romance manga in my life. I would just
Never again. The
I would
Give them
quit.
all hope.
I've been hurt way too much.
only part about the end, and I can't remember what she says exactly, but like they've been going on dates for what, a month, 2 months maybe.
Something like that. 3
And
months.
when he confesses, she's like, "Let's be together forever," and I was like, "Oh, hold up,
I know.
get a little ahead of
calm
yourself.
down
there,
right
you know?
now,
You need to
one
calm
step at a
yourself.
time, dude."
Oh man.
That's
But-
how it always is in like.
Yeah.
There's happens so often in romance manga where it's like, I love you gets confessed, and then all of a sudden
And
they're
they're
together
like,
forever.
"We're gonna be
Then all of a
together."
But
sudden-
I think that's
End
like
of
also
time.
something.
Forever.
My
Forever.
Oh.
That's how it is. I did kind of feel a little bit creeped out actually when she said that, and she said it like 5 times.
Love you.
I love you. We're gonna be this forever, forever. Be with me forever. I was just a little bit like, yeah, like, of course it's to add more emotion to that ending,
Yeah.
and like for people to be like, oh, they're gonna be there forever together. But really, it's that if that happened in real life a little, I'll be a little bit like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I
We'll
didn't even
see.
think about that.
Yeah.
If I was like confessing my love to somebody and they said, "Yeah, let's be together forever," I'd probably be creeped out too. I'd be like,
I'll be like, well,
Wait.
"Hold up."
we'll
I love
see.
you, but not that much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, let's
Let's-
keep dating. We'll talk about this in like 2 or 3 years. Like, hold up.
Oh man, dude, that was cool though. Like it was a good ending. I still enjoyed it, but that was the only part where I was kind of like, it's not as realistic as I want it to be, because I can't relate myself, like just like blowing up there in the end. But overall, it was good. His character was awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was talking about. I forgot.
I know. I forgot for a while there too. It's
I
okay.
wanted to. I
It all
talked.
blends together.
See, I ended up talking about everything. You guys can just finish.
That's
Done.
Done.
Yokorama just logs
Podcast
off.
over.
He's gone.
Dazza, why don't you tell us how you feel about everything, since that's what Yoku did?
I couldn't
Well,
hold back.
see, in the first panel of chapter 1,
Yes.
Boy.
Go on.
You're going in a Dr. Dazzle voice.
Yeah, put on the glasses, man.
Well, no, actually, I really liked it because, like you guys say, the forum characters really build them emotion and suspense. Especially, I really enjoyed the 2-page spread they have, where it's just all the characters and just him in like the little panel on the side, being like, "You can do it, Densha," and then he's just like, "Yes, I can." And then he gets to like the gate, and he's like, they're all got like half the page is the forum people, and then he's just like, "I don't know if I can do this." And I'm like, "Yes!" And it builds the emotion and suspense, and it doesn't stop that suspense either. And I feel sorry for people who would have had to read this like weekly or monthly as it came out, because I don't think I'd be able to handle 20 pages and then him stopping and being like, and that stops right there. Just imagine just stopping right there, and you just be like,
I'd just hibernate for a month or a week. Like the chapter comes out.
Let me plug my
Dodger
headphones.
Dodger got way too intense on that.
Way into it.
You got way too into that one.
But no,
Committed. That's what you do.
Hermes was a great character. I thought she was really likable. She was a girl that I'd probably go out with if I was in that situation.
Aww.
And I like the character designs as well, because they're different. They're a lot different than what normal manga is. Like, I felt them to be a bit weird and odd, and I thought the exaggerated features were actually quite good, especially to express emotion on the main character, because his emotion, like, on the forums, like, he was on a computer talking. Imagine that, he was on a computer talking.
The emoticons, when he used emoticons, it was so
I loved it.
But and then he had like that, and then he had like the whole emotions, and everything about it was really good. And oh, what else was I saying? Totally forgotten now.
Emoticons.
The
Emoticons are great.
I thought the Woot emoticon when he finally called her, and the Woot just stretched like half
other
the
than
page.
the top, yeah.
It's like-
They used Woot a lot in
I
this,
loved it.
Yeah,
this manga.
that's where it comes
They used the defeated guy one too.
Yeah.
Like, over and over and over again. That was so
They
funny.
really
to me.
understood the chat speak too. It made me feel like they were speaking my language whenever they like went off into like really excited, just random typings.
Yeah.
It's like that's me. That's how I
when he
feel
was on
right
like
now.
recalling, it's just like, please cock. It was just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
He's
the forum
trying to
people
type
was-
with one hand. We've
Poor
all
people
been
like,
there.
you must be on
Yep.
the phone. It must be
Yep.
exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that this managed to be so sweet while also trying, like, being a love story about our current generation, because I think there are so many people that, I don't know, that feel like really, really lonely, and a lot of their really close friends are on the internet, and this is almost like a story for them, you know? Like, just anybody who feels like they're pretty much alone, but have their life kind of on the internet. I don't know. I thought it was really
reminded
sweet.
me of like YouTube and Twitter and Tumblr.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of all those internet communities and how like Reddit and how they can always come out and just support people and give such good like advice and like root and like you feel like you're really good friends with these people and invested in their lives when you've like never even met them or don't even know their face, and it's just such a cool
Yeah, the thing
representation
is, like,
of that.
Densha didn't even know them. All he knew them was from this whole, like, encouragement that they
Yeah.
were given. And he's like, I love you guys, you know, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to know all these people, like, personally.
In real life, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, that's what the internet is. You can just write something, and then there's so many people that could read it. It's out there for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
you can get a lot of hate. I'm surprised he didn't get any hate. That would be awesome if there was like a hater that came in.
It showed
like,
the hater.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
frag, and then like everybody would just like block him or something. That would be awesome.
Sage.
That would have
Just
been
gets
awesome.
banned immediately.
There was that one guy that was like, "Oh, he's too weak. He's too weak," and the other would be like,
Something's
"No,
got a
that's
little
not
harsh.
true."
Well,
There
that guy
was
was just depressed. That
He
guy
would
was
like, yeah, he'd pop in with some depressing things, and then
Yeah,
they'd
when-
like, be
when-
like, "No."
when Densha said that Hermes she looked like that like newscaster. That
Yeah.
that guy
Well,
is
it's
just
like,
like
I
I
can't
don't care anymore, you know.
Hate you.
He's like, seriously, if you are dating that woman, I give up. He's just like, no.
Oh yeah,
I
that was
love
that was
that.
awesome.
The forum was such a great part of it.
Yeah.
That I've never seen that in any other sort of like represented as well as it was in any sort of other medium or anything, any other story.
I was surprised that I actually read every single like bubble because like usually when it comes to stuff like that, you can just skip it. A lot of that stuff you can skip because you can already kind
A
of
lot of repetition.
Yeah, but like I read every single bit, and for me that's actually pretty rare because I usually skip stuff like that because I just don't care. But I actually cared. I cared this time.
You were invested.
Because I was rooting for them. That's why I was kind of like yeah, like reading that, and it's like me saying it, and it was really cool. It was a very really fun and different experience. So
Yeah, and like how we were all talking about how we all have like favorite forum members. You always wanted to know like how your favorite forum members felt. Like you'd like look for them on those big pages and be like, what did they say?
I love that you could always, when it was just like the bubbles that wasn't even necessarily connected to pictures, you can always kind of hear the voice of like which one it went to. Like you still had an idea because it was just each single bubble was given such personality. Like each forum member was given such distinct personalities that it was easy to tell just from their text. Which is kind of like a thing in real life that like if you're texting with a friend, like you text differently with different people. Like different ways. Like with Dodger, I use way more caps with Dodger.
We caps a lot.
Caps lock a lot. Whereas with my dad, I don't use that many caps because he would not understand why I'm yelling at him all the time. So it's just the idea that like you're able to get personality from certain texts. I thought was really cool that the mangaka was able to pull that through. Or that the author was able to like push that through and like show that. I thought it was neat.
And the translation was able to convey that as well.
Yeah. That's awesome. That as well. What about art style? I mentioned the mangaka. What about art style? What do you guys think about it? How'd you feel? Feelings about the art?
I feel the same way as Daza. I think that the like almost caricature-ness of them was really cool. At first, I didn't think that I was gonna like the art style all that much, but I wound up really liking it. I thought that it served the manga in general really well, and I'm not sure why. But it suited it. I don't know.
It felt really. It felt old. It felt like art style from like the 70s.
It did,
Like.
But it's about like now.
And I love that. I love that though. I love that sort of art style. But there was a few panels where the head shapes were a little bit weird, especially on the Hermes.
Like
on the Hermes.
Yeah, her head was like this, and her hair is like weird as well.
And her forehead.
Hermes was the one that maybe the mangaka had the worst time drawing. Because like she was the one who usually seemed a little bit skewed.
Yeah.
Like her head is like a croissant shape.
Is there a plane landing in your house, Doctor?
There's a plane landing in my house right now.
Get a helicopter pad up.
I think somebody above me dropped something really heavy.
A helicopter, right?
I don't know.
It was this cat, the cat jumping. Show up, cat.
But yeah, it didn't bother me. I liked it. Like I said, I like old style art, and it was cool. I didn't have really a problem with him, and I didn't really love it. Like it wasn't amazing, but I do gotta say that he put a lot of detail, or he or she, whoever, in Densha, because every time he would like get a new clothes or something like that, there would be a lot of detail put into that. And a lot of his face emotions, because a lot of it was him just like freaking out on the internet, like, oh, what do I do? You know, and he put a lot of that in his eyes and his emotions and stuff. It was really cool. I think
liked, and I don't know why, because normally this would bother me. I liked that everybody's hands were like a little bit too big, because when they would go to type, their hands looked huge, and I don't know why I loved that so much.
Because it's such a close-up.
Yeah, like the couple, sometimes the girl would lift up her hand or like do one of these, and her fist just looked enormous. I was like,
it was
your
yaoi
hands are so big. They weren't like yaoi hands.
I didn't even know it. I didn't even know
they
it.
were badly.
Extra digits and like they're like spider hands. It wasn't like that. It was just like, I don't know. They were just like slightly too big, and I liked that for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
No, I didn't even.
If you look,
I think my favorite thing was the tongue sticking out things that they had for like Densha and the other characters. I thought that was the cutest thing ever, especially with the exaggerated eyes and the huge eyes, and it's just like, found that really cute.
I always get so jealous of manga clothes. It's so. I'm just like. Even though Densha was a guy, I was like, I want all of your clothes. I would like, David dresses very well, but this would also look very good on David. Like, I just want this clothes in real life.
Take tips from
like,
Densha, Dave.
Tips. So I just loved the way the manga drew close, and also I really loved like all of the characters. I love how different all of the characters were too. How they all varied in some way, shape, or form, had very different but like distinct parts of them to their face. I thought was really cool. Is there any other thoughts you have on the art? I have another question I want to ask you guys, but if you have any thoughts on art before we move on.
Nah, I don't.
No?
Good. I'm
Okay.
good on art.
What was your guys' favorite cute moment? What was the cutest moment for you guys that made you, other than the ending confession, what was like something they did on the date or something like that? I mean, you can say the confession if you want to, but we all distinguished that was very cute. But like, what little thing when they were like dating made you just be like, oh, that's so cute?
I know, I have one.
Yes.
Okay, when they were texting back and forth about when
This is why you have to go first, Yoku.
when they were basically saying like the things that they're insecure about, and then she said that he was perfect in her book, and he said that she was perfect in his book, and I was like,
I'm going with that one as well. That's
this
not
is
fair.
so cute.
That was awesome because like when I was younger, like I had moments like that as well, and then it's like those like really awkward moments where like you're already just giving each other hints completely, just like
So
pretty-
take
almost
the hints.
yeah, almost saying, and then it's like, oh, you know, I have something to tell you in person. I have something to tell you in person as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm just like sitting there like, ah, I remember this. This is like when I was younger. It's the same thing.
Been there.
That's why it's so like relatable. That's why I loved it so much. That was awesome. Like I like that part, and then the later part when they're like, oh, I have something to tell you in the, like later in person, and then she's like, oh, me too. You know, dot, and I was just like, ah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Cute. What about you, Dazza? Do you have one?
I liked one where it was like, how the dog grabbed her dress and then she put him away. And then he's just like, can you bring him out so we can play with him
I like
more?
that too.
And then because you can sort of see it in her face where it's just like she's like, I'm happy. And then it's like, you know, it's like that moment when you meet someone and they have that moment where you know you want to be with them. And I felt like that was probably the moment where she was like, it's him. It's him
forever.
Yeah.
Be with me forever. That was the moment. That was the moment. You forever. Yeah. Just creepy. It's her sitting on the porch. It's her sitting on the porch. If they're all cute, then like they do a close
Aw.
up. It's like.
Super creepy. Forever. I think my
Young Barry.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like
you know style.
It's like opening the little.
Oh my god, no, do not remind me of that part.
Yuki-kun.
You guys, stop.
Forever.
That was the most horrifying scene for me in like almost any anime. That was
That was the creepiest scene ever. That's Densho Otoko right there. That's the ending.
Oh my god, that was the worst. Oh, what was I gonna say? Now I can remember is that her red eyes.
Your favorite cute moment.
My favorite cute moment was when was the whole hand holding when she like grabs his wrist and then he like screams the first time and like jumps away. And then later on, when he grabs her wrist and she like moves their hands, like this is much more natural, isn't it? And just how that's a recurring theme, and he says
how
the
he
same
did that
thing
in-
to her later. I thought that was the cutest.
I know. This is why it's weird for us to discuss romance. That's
Why is
actually-
this weird? I love this. I love
It's
your
actually
guys'
good.
reactions. You guys need to get these feelings
the
out
love
sometimes.
through.
Oh,
Love flow through you.
Forever.
Yoku.
Forever.
Yoku-kun.
Oh,
There are so many creepy faces in this week's manga. I love it.
we could have so many awesome thumbnails.
This is how
Yes,
we roll.
I don't know which. What?
Better see the gifts later.
Oh, yes. I thought you said something different.
Make sure to put some filters and stuff, cause
Hipster
Yeah,
filters.
make sure there are lots of filters. Make sure it's in
Otherwise-
slow
And
motion.
the cursive text as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, no one's reblogging that.
And
But
that'd be
make
pretty
sure
cool
that
if you,
it's
like, put
cursive
some-
text
Oh.
placed in a way where you can't read it. Otherwise, it's not legit.
And you
I
have to
would
like
be able
split
to
our
read
faces
you.
into 4 for no reason.
Oh, here's a good idea. Flip the cursive text. You would think like, oh, what does this
Oh,
say?
yeah,
But you have
upside
to, you have
down.
to like
Yeah.
forever.
It's just gonna be a panel of each of our faces being super creepy, like in a gradient of different colors, and then it's just gonna say forever upside down.
Upside down in cursive. Yeah, I'm taking this joke too far. Okay, let's go.
What do you mean?
What joke? What are you talking about?
What?
Ugh.
I want that so
Me too.
badly.
And don't worry, if somebody beats you to it, you can make the exact same one but have it say 5 ever.
Yeah.
There's so many options.
There's a ton of hipster filters.
Or you
so
could
you're
just
not
change the
limited.
filter. Oh,
Hi,
There we go.
that's it. That's all it is. Just originality, guys. High five.
Originality. That's all it is, guys.
So what are we talking about? What?
I don't remember.
I don't know
Hand-
anymore.
We were talking about cute moments, and I said my favorite
Oh.
was the hand holding.
That was very
my
cute.
favorite.
That was
I just
good.
love how they kept going. It just felt so natural. It goes back to the whole natural
Yeah.
progression of a relationship, and especially with the guy that is like super uncomfortable in a relationship and just learning how to do those things. I thought it was really sweet.
Oh, another cute moment. I got one. It was the train one when he's like, "Oh, you want me to walk you home?" Like,
Oh, yeah, and then
And
he
then
grabs,
she
and then he
pulls
grabs
him.
him.
like he's like, "Okay, it's fine." Yeah.
Oh.
And she grabs him. Ah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
That
And then
was
they
so
walk.
cute. That scene was really well drawn too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That scene was so sweet, and there was like not very much dialogue either. It was just
yeah.
the actions, and like it was so cute.
Oh.
So cute. So cute. There was, this doesn't really count as a cute moment, but the part where I like that it didn't completely ignore sexual stuff. Like when she's wearing the low cut shirt when he comes over for the tea and play with
Yeah.
the dog. Like he notices it and he's just like looking like kind of away.
Yes, like,
It's so cute. That was so adorable, but I love that they didn't like just completely ignore that. Like they didn't
Yeah.
like focus on it, but it was obviously like it was there. And so
Yeah,
was
I
like
also
that-
love that he didn't flip out every time somebody mentioned something
Yeah.
sexual. He didn't like, what? No, sex.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
no. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of like, oh no, I don't think that's gonna happen. You know, like
Yeah.
but he did think about it himself. Like, oh,
It
kiss.
seemed like a
maybe.
much more natural reaction than
Yeah.
in most manga, where people are like, "What? Boobies? No!"
Yeah, but of course he's not like a 13-year-old shonen character.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Oh,
that's
somebody
probably why.
somebody in the comments says that he did not nosebleed, which
Yeah.
also incredibly
He's
true.
breaking all the boundaries.
All of the cliches.
This is a miracle, guys.
Dude.
Like there's nosebleeds everywhere.
Oh god.
You know what's the one other thing that I thought was weird is that okay, so the moment when the favorite moment that I gave you. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you.
Look, I'm all over the place right
We
now.
got you.
The favorite moment that I gave you was also the moment when she said, "I don't know if I could have a boyfriend with this body," or something like that, right? And he was like, "Oh, we've confirmed she doesn't have a boyfriend." And in my mind, I had forgotten that that was even an issue. Like,
Yeah.
why on earth would you still think that she has a boyfriend? You know,
Yeah.
like
That's
that was
yeah.
still so weird to me. And if she did have a boyfriend and she was going on all these weird dates with you, why would you still want to be with her? Because she's obviously shady.
Yeah.
The
These are
thing
my
is, the
feelings.
thing is, no, guys overthink things. That was
Yes,
really
yes.
realistic. That was
Yeah,
one of the
that-
most realistic things about that
Really?
manga.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
you can be
yeah.
flirting, you can be talking, you can be going on dates, but unless you like confirm completely that you
Yeah.
guys are going out, a guy in the back of their mind be like, "Oh my goodness, what if she has a boyfriend?"
Yeah.
Because guys overthink things. We overthink everything.
That seems
Girls-
so
yeah,
unrealistic.
girls
Like,
don't think
I
about
trust
anything.
you guys.
No, I'm telling you, guys, they overthink things way more than girls. That's why that was really realistic.
Every little thing you do, we think about.
Oh
over and over.
God.
Yes.
How I feel about
We
that.
think about everything. God.
No, but like, I'm telling you, like that moment.
There's so many people clapping in the chat right now for Yoku.
Everybody's like, preach, Yoku.
Yeah,
No, I'm
Yoku.
just saying, like that moment,
Oh.
like I was like, yeah, like cool, because that's why it was. He emphasized on that so much because that was actually a big deal, and that's why it became even more relatable because like she doesn't have a boyfriend, confirmed, you know. And everybody's like, yeah, you know, go for it now, you know. And so it's really cool that he actually like put in that, and I guess only guys noticed that.
I noticed it. I just didn't think it was anything.
Yeah, you're just like, why did he put it in here?
No, I thought it was a thing. I didn't.
I'm the only person who had an issue with this.
I was like, oh, okay. Now he knows that she doesn't have a boyfriend. That's great. They can
Dude,
be together.
I don't know.
It's like a green signal saying, "Oh yes, I can go, I can go, I can go."
But
It breaks the wall. It just breaks.
you
the
had-
It's not.
if you had gone on a date with a
Yeah,
chick
yeah, yeah,
a
you would-
few
you
times
but
and
no.
then you found out she had a boyfriend, wouldn't you be like,
No,
you're
no, no.
a shady girl?
Yeah,
Well,
but-
yeah.
But you
you're
haven't
like-
confirmed it.
Yeah, even
It's
if
not
you're like
confirmed.
100% sure in your mind that she's
Yeah.
she's into you, she doesn't have a boyfriend, but still in the back of your mind, in the back of a guy's mind, you'd be like, what if she has a boyfriend? What if this is like the whole time he was like, what if this feels like a dream? You know, this feels like a
Right.
dream. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, everything's going so great. That's why in the back of his mind he was still thinking like, what if this is just like gonna
Yep.
break apart? So that confirmation was a big deal.
Okay.
Big deal.
Okay.
I hope you understand. So confirm things.
Confirmed.
In the future, first dates, I'll be like, look, I'm
I have no
single.
boyfriend. You should go for me.
David, I don't have a boyfriend.
You shouldn't. You're married.
Well,
I don't have a boyfriend. I am
don't-
married.
I am married to you.
To you?
Just to make sure.
Yeah, class is over now. Let's move on.
I feel like I know so much about boys.
I know. I feel like I know so much more. I had a thought, and then I just got I got distracted by the lesson.
By the lesson.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, God. Okay, I remember. Excuse me. I liked the fact that I just spit all over myself. I'm sorry. Hang on. Okay. I liked the fact that she didn't look at him romantically at all in the first place. Like, I love that developed as she got to know him. I liked that it wasn't just he's just so great, I just immediately fell in love with him kind of a thing. I thought it was a much more natural development that he was very, very smitten with her, and she was like, well, sure, I can go out to be like friends and stuff. And then she genuinely developed an interest in him and wanted to know more about him. And you can totally see that too. Like when you find that out and then you go back and reread it. I know that I did that. Like I went back and reread the first few chapters, like when they're going on dates and stuff. You can totally tell that she doesn't seem like into it romantically. Like she just seems more like, this guy is really nice and he saved me. I owe him. So I loved the fact that was a reveal at the end, that she didn't necessarily, she wasn't in
Yeah,
love with him
she
right away.
like she got an interest. Like she actually started to actually like him during the first date. Like during the first date, not like when he protected them on the bus. I mean, on train or whatever. And she's like, oh, it's so cool. You know, because he didn't look cool. He did not look cool.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably looked at him like, like nasty or whatever.
Nasty.
What if? Here's a question. What if he didn't change his look? Like, what if he went exactly the way he was like that on that date? You think everything would work out the same way?
I think
I think
she
so.
would have taken it as a sign that he definitely didn't think it was a date. Just like she
Yeah.
didn't think it was a date. Like there wouldn't have been any reason for her to feel like there was
Yeah, probably.
anything there,
Would
you know?
have just eaten and like left. But
Mhm.
him changing his look and changing himself, or like actually starting to care, that actually did all the work.
Yeah, I think that was another thing that was very realistic in that sometimes the more time you spend with a person, the more you start to see them in that way, even if it's not that way at first. So I think that I agree with you, Aaron. I think that it was nice that for him it was like, oh, she's so pretty, I would love to go on a date with her. And for her, she was just like, oh, he's a nice, he's this nice guy who saved me. Yeah, I'll grab dinner with him, sure,
Yeah.
I love that. It was such a really cool, really different type of thing. Like, usually you see them both falling heads over heel and just taking, like,
Just
this awkward thing. Like, I don't know. This just felt so much more
Love.
normal. Love. Ah.
It was a much more adult relationship. I thought.
Yes. It was much
It-
more
a la-
mature.
Yeah, which it was a seinen manga, so.
Yeah. I love seinen
Yeah.
manga. They're just great. It's great.
I'm laughing at some in the comments. Somebody wrote 2 teacups, 1 otaku. And that makes a lot of sense because he did get 2 teacups and he was
He
1
did.
otaku. So.
This is true.
That's funny.
Is there, let's see, let's look at the time. Okay, let's start wrapping this up. Let's give our final thoughts and ratings on this, my friends. I can go first unless somebody else wants to.
Go for it, Aaron.
Okay, I am, seeing as this is one of the best, it's definitely the best romance manga I've ever read, and seeing as it's one of the best love stories I've ever read, I just thought from beginning to end, the whole thing was very structurally sound. The characters were fantastic. Everything was very engaging. I felt like I was part of the story. The art was great and suiting for it. Like, just the whole thing, I just loved it to death. And so I'm going to give it, I think, like a 9.5 for me. Like, it's high, but I just had so much enjoyment out of it. I thought it was just perfect love stories because it was so simple and didn't have all that drama that was unnecessary. It was just, from beginning to end, it was perfect, and I would love to see an anime of it, like, as soon as possible.
Me too.
So,
Why
I
don't
give
you
it
watch
a
the
high
drama?
9.5. I know I need to watch the drama. I'm going to. I want to. Like,
Yeah, I'm
I'll
definitely
link it to
gonna
you.
watch it.
I'll link it to you
I'm totally
afterwards.
gonna watch it. Yeah. Link it to me in Spanish, please.
Yeah, if we could get that in Spanish.
And then Shaw. So yeah, I'm giving it a 9.5, which is, I mean, it's high, but I think it was definitely, it's like the epitome of romance manga for me. So that's mine. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Thought it was cute. Yoku.
Oh, me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I said name.
It was awesome. It was definitely one of the greatest as well, like in my opinion, one of the greatest romance stories, not just manga. When it comes to romance manga, it was awesome. It was short as well. It was
Which was
compact. It was a compact read. It felt like I watched a movie because it was about like a Batman length movie. What a comparison. And length, just comparing the length. It's Titanic length movie.
Go
Nice.
on.
Yes, go on.
It was, yeah. I'm not gonna say it was perfect, because there was parts where I was annoyed, not really annoyed, but I was kind of like, but it didn't take away from the story or overall feeling of the whole manga. So I'd probably have to give it a 9.5 as well. And I know I'm probably overrating it because I right after finishing it, I gave it a 10, but then I'm like, no, 10, that's too much. Why would I give this a 10? It wasn't the 100% masterpiece. But I had to bring it down to a 9.5, and I think I'm still a little bit overrating it. But my enjoyment was so high that I have to give it more than a 9. A 9 just doesn't feel like it's enough for this manga, because it was one of the greatest reads. Definitely one of the best manga we read on the Manga Pod as well.
Yep.
Definitely.
I agree.
Probably my second favorite.
Attack on Titan and then this,
Yeah.
I think are mine.
Yeah,
So
so
they're not
9.
comparable at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about enjoyment.
Different
not like,
genres completely.
no. I'm not talking about like
In terms of enjoyment.
It's in terms of enjoyment. So 9.5, I think that's a really good score.
Yeah, twinsies. Yeah. Daza, Dodgers playing Arthur Cat, so you go.
Okay. Well, I must say, of course, it was a better love story than Twilight. Of course. It will
Obviously.
always be a
Obviously.
much better love story than Twilight. And it made me feel my man feels. And
That sounds really wrong.
it's true, my man feels felt. Not like that. That's different man.
That's a very different man.
Go on.
Two different ones.
No comparison.
Yeah. It's like Attack on Titan, and comparing them, it just doesn't work. So I would have to say a 9.5 as well. because it was perfect in every way. And if it was going for a feels rating, it would be a very, very 11 out of 10 for a feels rating.
Yeah.
But 9.5 objectively. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Pretty Dodger, Mr. Dodger. Oh wait, Dodger, you also get a high five. Trippies.
Yes. Woo.
Whee!
Yeah.
Dodger.
We can't sing.
Gross, all of you.
Join
You're
us,
just
Doja.
jealous. You're just jealous.
No.
Well, we
I'm
can
giving-
all high five at the same time.
I'm giving this shit a 10.
Oh
Get
wow.
out.
Oh.
Get out.
Wow.
Get a big old 10. No,
No
because
high-fives.
even though I mentioned a couple of things that I was like, really, I thought that it was such a perfectly well done love story, and I loved that it was a love story about like our generation right now that's so tied to the internet, and I like blasted through it because I thought that it was so entertaining and so engaging, and I felt so many man feels, and it was just
What kind
no,
of?
I don't feel like I can give it a 9.5. I think I have to give it a 10 because I normally don't like romantic stories at all. I get really frustrated with them and I don't feel like they're genuine, and this felt so genuine and so sweet.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm gonna say that I'm reserving a 10 for this like magical perfect story, it might as well be for this one because I don't know if I'm ever gonna give a 10 to another romance story.
Aw. You can have a high five.
So yeah,
Nope.
No.
it's fine, Aaron. I only need your high fives.
Aw. I only
But
need
this
High
is
fives anyway.
this is the first time that we have rated something more than a 9. Like all of us gave us something more than a 9.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So this is definitely something that everybody should read if you're still in here. That if we
Yes,
haven't convinced
read
you
it.
yet, read it. I
I'm
don't know
gonna
why
go-
you would still be here.
Yeah. It's brilliant and perfect. It's great.
It's
Definitely.
awesome.
It's awesome.
And I feel like even though even if you're one of the people who decided to stick around and watch this and you haven't read it yet, I don't think that the spoilers that we gave would take away from the story at all. Because
Not really.
when we read it, you know, we knew that it was going to wind up a happy ending, most likely. But that didn't take away from the genuine like excitement when you're
Yeah.
reading it. I don't know.
Well, I watched
I
the
agree.
TV series beforehand, so I knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I enjoy this manga still.
Yeah, it's a very simple
Yeah.
simple series. That's what it is. It's not
That's what
nothing
makes it
like
so
with like
great.
crazy plot twists where you're like, oh my goodness, oh.
Go
But it's just straight to the point, and you kind of know what's gonna happen. It's just you're just sitting there and kind of I guess just relating. You're relating the whole time. That's what. That's all it is.
And there's no cliches or bullcrap.
yeah,
There's
it's,
no,
it's-
Like there's no
It
like
steers
why did
away
she
from-
do this?
I want that to be a shirt. No cliches or bullcrap. And then hashtag
So why did
manga
she
pod.
Yes. Yes. I want
That's
that.
awesome.
I want it. I was gonna say something. Oh, I was gonna say this is a very happy manga too. So if you're like feeling sad or anything, like it's very heartwarming and good little pick me up. Like there's no drama or anything in it that's gonna make you like feel angrier or sadder or anything. It's just happy, joy.
It's all happy all the time.
All happy all the time.
And it makes you feel like you should change yourself for the better as well.
Yeah, it's inspirational.
You know,
Yes.
if maybe every day you wake up and you think, I should take more showers, it's one of those manga that you'll read and think to yourself,
And take
I'm
more
going to start
showers?
taking more showers.
Safe showers.
That's basically what Densha does. He's like, I'm gonna cut my hair and shower more.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, you're so handsome. Want to touch your chin?
next week I'm gonna have like really short hair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a
Well,
cool
actually-
You're gonna
You're wearing like a
Very well
turtleneck and a
dressed.
blazer. We're like,
Yeah.
what happened to you?
What? Then Jericho? Yeah.
What do you mean? What manga? are we
Yoki, let me
talking
touch your chin.
about? Daz is just attempting to stroke Yoku's chin the entire time.
I should probably shave as well then.
Yoko's like,
I
yeah,
think it's okay.
I've been taking trains everywhere. I don't actually need to take trains anywhere, but I
I've been
figured
doing
one
it.
day a dude's gonna show up.
And I'm gonna be ready. I don't know what's.
I'll be ready for that day.
Um, let's talk about. So next week we are doing a continuing with the manga we've already started, and that is Isle Generation Basket. Yes, I know. I don't remember exactly what we're reading though, so let me.
Nice.
We're reading volumes 8 to 14.
Oh, Dazza, I love you for being
Dazza!
there. 8 through 14.
He's on top of it.
That's like 7 volumes.
Yeah. That's how many we read the first time.
That is how
I think
many we
that's
read the
finished it
first
off, I
time.
think, if I recall.
Oh, yeah, we read half of it. So, it's a lot, but it's getting good. We ended it last time at a really good part. So if you guys want to read Generation Basket and get all caught up, you can also go and watch the first manga pod where we talked about that too. So, and that's on youtube.com/happilyerin, which is where this VOD will be going as well. And yeah, so let's see. You guys want to shout out your stuff really quick, and then we'll do a good bye-bye to our wonderful audience?
Yes.
Sure.
I'll go first.
I can go.
Hi, I'm Dodger, and you can find me on youtube.com/pressheart2continue or youtube.com/dexterity_bonus.
Yeah.
And my Twitter is @dexbonus, DEXBONUS.
Yeah.
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 I am Happily Aaron. Like I already said, you can find the VOD of this going up after we finish here. Hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how it works. I also do first impressions and reviews of anime. And yeah, that stuff. My Twitter is Happily Aaron, as well as my Tumblr and Facebook and such. So there's my stuffs. Boys. Boys.
All right, my username on YouTube is Yokorama Game Talk, so find me there. It's also Yokorama News, where I actually started making videos there again. Yeah, I'm really on and off with videos lately, so yeah.
You've been sick though. You've been sick.
No excuses.
Stop playing League
No
of
excuse.
Legends.
Stop playing League of Legends, Yoku.
Watch more
Alright.
anime, Yoku.
It's impossible. I still need to start some actually, but I do have a cool video coming tomorrow, so look forward to that. And you can also find me on Twitter at Yokorama Talks, where I just tweet sometimes.
Yeah.
Usually just retweet other people. That's what I do. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Dazza. Dazza.
You can find me on Fire Infinite One, where I do anime reviews on anime. Yeah.
What?
And then I do anime news on the Dr. Dazzler, which actually be coming out later, sometime. Yeah. And I've also got Twitter,
Yeah.
which is Dr. Dazzler, and if you tweet me, I'll probably tweet you back and be like, yo, we're now friends. Get used to it.
Get used to it. Can I ask who in chat decided to organize having everyone send me the Denko face? Because I am mad at you. Was that you, Dazza? I am so mad. I just looked at my Twitter feed really quick, and I just have all of these Denko faces, and it's terrifying.
I love chat. It's awesome.
This has been Manga Pod. Next week we'll have a guest in Dr. Dazza's place. Don't know who. Just kidding. Dazza will be here. We'll all be here. So next week we'll be here 7:30 p.m.
Anyway,
7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be reading Al Generation Basket volumes 8 through 14, which is through the end, correct?
Yeah, just finishing up the
Just-
series.
Finishing it.
if you don't read it all, you've done something wrong.
Yeah, just finish. If there's no
Yeah.
ending, then yeah,
Just finish the damn thing.
you're not ready then.
You're unprepared for Manga Pod.
Be prepared.
Ooh, can you say musical?
That's
thing?
Oh.
that's
Manga Pod, the music
Manga
guys on the
Pod,
screen,
the music.
written by Joss Whedon.
It's Lion King. Come on, no.
Oh yeah, I know.
Your jazz fingers.
I was just excited to start a musical Manga Pod. Thank you all for watching. We love you all. We will see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.